King Midas loved gold. Oh man, he really, really loved it. Gold was his passion, his obsession. He loved the way it shimmered, catching the light in a mesmerizing dance. He loved the way it felt, smooth and cool to the touch, a tangible symbol of his wealth. He loved the power and wealth it represented, the status it conferred upon him. Midas wasn't just a king, he was basically the original gold digger, always seeking more. He had storerooms filled with golden treasures, vaults overflowing with riches. Still, he yearned for more. No amount of gold seemed to satisfy his insatiable hunger. He believed that gold was the answer to everything, the ultimate solution to all his desires. One day, something amazing happened, something that would change his life forever. Dionysus, the Greek god of wine and celebration, appeared before Midas, a divine presence in his court. Turns out Dionysus owed Midas a favor, a rare opportunity for the king. Midas, being Midas, wished for the one thing he loved most, the one thing that consumed his thoughts.
"I want everything I touch to turn to gold," he declared, his eyes gleaming with anticipation and greed.
Dionysus was hesitant. He knew the dangers of such a power, the power to turn anything into gold with just a touch. He tried to warn Midas, explaining the potential consequences, but the king wouldn't listen. Midas was blinded by his overwhelming desire for wealth and riches. Dionysus sighed deeply. Despite his reservations, he had to grant the wish. With a reluctant snap of his fingers, Midas's wish was granted, and the magic began. Midas now possessed the golden touch. He was ecstatic, filled with joy and excitement. He touched a simple twig, and it instantly transformed into shimmering gold, dazzling in the sunlight. He touched a rock, and it became a solid gold nugget, heavy and precious. Overcome with excitement, he ran around his palace, touching everything he could find, eager to see the transformation. He turned his furniture, his tapestries, even his own bathtub into pure gold. The palace gleamed with a golden glow, every corner reflecting his newfound power. At first, Midas was on top of the world. He reveled in his newfound power. He imagined unimaginable wealth. He saw himself as the most powerful king in the world. He didn't realize the curse he had brought upon himself. Then hunger struck. He reached for a grape, but it turned to gold in his hand. He tried to drink some water, but the goblet and the liquid within turned to gold with his touch. He was surrounded by gold, yet he couldn't eat or drink. Section 4, A Father's Anguish, the loss of a daughter.
My heart pounded, fear crept in. I longed to feel my daughter's embrace.
He called for his beloved daughter.
Father!
She came running to him, her laughter echoing through the halls. As she hugged him, his heart shattered.
No.
His daughter, his precious daughter, turned into a cold, lifeless golden statue. The moment he held her, she was gone, replaced by cold, hard gold. He screamed in agony.
What have I done? Oh, what have I done?
He realized the terrible mistake he had made. Section 5. A plea for redemption, Midas's desperate bargain.
Dionysus, please, I beg you for forgiveness. I have learned my lesson. I no longer care for gold. I would trade all the riches in the world for a single touch from my daughter.
Dionysus watched, his heart filled with pity for the foolish king.
Please take away this curse. Take back the golden touch. I just want my daughter back. I just want to feel the warmth of her hand in mine again.
Tears streamed down Midas's face, washing away his pride and revealing his despair. Section 6. The Price of Greed, a Lesson Learned. This is a tale that has been passed down through generations, a story that teaches us the true value of life and the perils of unchecked desires. Dionysus, moved by Midas's sorrow and genuine regret, agreed to help. The god could see the pain in Midas's eyes and knew that the king had learned a valuable lesson. He instructed Midas to wash his hands in the river Pactolus, a river known for its purifying properties. The water would cleanse him of his greed-induced curse. As Midas dipped his hands into the flowing water, he felt the curse lift. The golden touch that had once brought him so much misery was now being washed away. He rushed back to his daughter, his heart filled with hope and anticipation. Every step he took was a prayer, every breath a plea for her life.
Please, let her be alive, please. He whispered these words over and over, his voice trembling with emotion.
To his immense relief, his daughter was no longer a statue. The cold, lifeless form had transformed back into the warm, living girl he loved so dearly. She was alive, her warm hand grasping his. Tears of joy streamed down his face as he held her close, vowing never to let greed take over his heart again.
"Oh, thank the gods!" he exclaimed, his voice filled with gratitude and relief. The nightmare was finally over. I will never let greed cloud my judgment again. This was a promise he made to himself, his daughter, and the gods who had shown him mercy.
From that day forward, Midas became known for his generosity. He shared his wealth with those in need, ensuring that no one in his kingdom would suffer as he had. He shared his wealth and ruled with wisdom and compassion. His reign was marked by fairness and kindness, a stark contrast to his previous greed-driven actions. He learned that true happiness lay not in material possessions, but in the love of family and the simple joys of life. Midas found peace in the laughter of his children and the warmth of his home, realizing that these were the true treasures of life.